Cars remain in Funny Car Eliminator at the Quaker State Northstar Nationals. The surprising Scott Coletta has the choice of lanes over John Force. Force lost traction in the previous round when he had the big break in the single. When Eric Reed arrived too late to make the run, John Force smoked the tires and lost the choice of lanes. And it is Scott Coletta smoking the tires, and John Force goes into the finals. That makes his crew chief Austin Coyle a happy man. And John Force runs a 5.45 second elapsed time, serving notice to the next pair of drivers that he's going to be tough. John Martin and Don Prudhomme side-by-side burnouts. With his 2 wins and a runner-up finish thus far this season, Prudhomme is making a strong bid for another Winston Championship. Steve's at the far end.
Well, as most of you know, nobody gets more pumped up over performance than John Force. John, I got a good one for you. 5:45, the quickest of the day by anybody.
I got a good one for you.
Okay.
And this is about Austin Coyle. I get so hyper in these interviews and stuff, and especially right before I race. That's where these stories come from, I guess. But Coyle and I are back in the trailer, and the last run you saw it smoke the tires, and I'm yelling at Coyle. She's smoking the tires. She's wheel standing, put weight in the front, put weight in the front. He goes out, and I had 10 different ideas, and he said, "You're not a tuner. Leave me alone. You're making me nervous." And I come out of the trailer. He says, "I put weight in the weight bar. You happy?" And I said, "Yeah, and while you're at it, make sure it'll still pass the scales." And Coyle looked at me and said, "Boy, you are nervous for us." He says, "If anything, she'll be heavier, not lighter."
John Force goes to the finals.
Steve, could you get him to repeat that? He lost me. Regardless, it's a winning combination, John Force and Austin Coyle. Don Prudhomme's had his share of winning combinations 37 times. He has been a winner at the wheel of a nitromethane burning race car. John Martin in the near lane. And Prudhomme has to shut off. Martin wins the race and goes into his first ever final round appearance. 5.53 second elapsed time. It'll be John Force having the lane choice, but John Martin doesn't care. He's just thrilled to be in the finals of the Quaker State Northstar Nationals. If you like this kind of excitement, you can be a part of it at the new Houston Raceway Park, the inaugural Ram Super Nationals, October 6th through the 9th. That's Houston, Texas. We'll see you there. Steve?
It's a pleasure to talk to John Martin down here, Dave. He's going into his first ever final round. It's got to make you a very happy guy.
I can't even come up with any words. I'm so happy. My guys worked their butts off. But no, they worked very hard. I'm real proud of them. And yeah, like I say, I'm just really happy to be here.
And you go in with a competitive elapsed time, 5:53.
Yeah, it shook out there real hard. And my guy told me, he said, if it goes out there and starts to rattle, he said, just drive it by the seat of your pants. And I says, okay.
Rattle meaning shake?
Yeah, she shook pretty good.
Thanks, John. Good luck.
Thank you very much, guys.
The professional finals, next from the Quaker State Northstar Nationals. National Raceway in the Quaker State Northstar Nationals. Don Prudhomme has made his way back to the pit area, and Steve Evans is with him.
Don, obviously, all your fans are sorry to see you out. What happened?
Well, it was, it blew a rear end. It's as simple as that. It was on a real good run, and blew the rear end out of it, tore the ring and pinion out.
What's it feel like when you're taking 3, 4 Gs and all of a sudden that acceleration just stops?
Well, that's it's about right. You've got a little over 4 Gs on you at that point, and then it blows the rear end, and everything stops. You just go limp. It's a sudden stop.
Just go forward in the belts.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you're really pinned back in the seat, and all of a sudden it lets you go. And then when it does that, of course, the G meter just drops on the car, and of course your body feels it too. But it was on a good run. I didn't see him. It got a good light and had a good 60-foot time. So, it would have been a nice race for us.
Well, you made some points on the leaders.
Yes, we did. We just needed to go all the way to really feel more comfortable about it. But we'll get him at Indy.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Don Prudhomme already looking forward to the fabled U.S. Nationals coming up in just a couple of weeks at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Bob Glidden against Tony Christian. The classic Ford versus Chevrolet battle, the final in Pro Stock Eliminator. Both drivers taking their time about staging. Glidden's concentration pointed one way, to the Christmas tree. Buster waving Tony Christian forward. seconds. His speed 183 miles an hour. In another close race, Tony Christian has won the Northstar Nationals. As we look again, you see a very slight advantage at the start by Christian. Just about 1/100th of a second was all the advantage he had. Bob Glidden at the middle of the track was right alongside, but was unable to pull ahead of the Chevrolet of Christian. And there you see it. That was the margin of victory for the upset of the day. A screaming Tony Christian showing the emotion of the moment as he wins his second race of the year. Steve?
Well, Dave, Tony Christian just came out of this Chevrolet like a caged gorilla. You had a 1/100th hole shot. You won a 50, he won a 49, theoretically a dead heat. Unbelievable.
Well, when was the last time you thumped the Ford? Have you thumped the Ford lately?
You had no idea you won till you saw us coming.
I didn't know I won. It was so close. I mean, we didn't know. I think we both shook the tires on the way down.
Well, I have a feeling it's Butch Leal who might start wearing Tony Christian T-shirts.
I might not change this thing. Thank you, everybody at Rear Morrison. Okay, they're the ones that did it for me.
And a lot of good driving on your part, Mark.
That's more of them.
Rare and Morrison, the engine builders for Tony Christian, the Pro Stock champion. As a result of this big win, Tony Christian moves into the #2 spot in the Winston points chase, a little over 1,000 points behind Bob Glidden with 5 races to go. John Force waiting for the finals of Funny Car, coming up next. At the Quaker State Northstar Nationals at Brainerd International Raceway, and this huge crowd is intently watching our Funny Car finalists. It is John Force in the near lane and John A. Martin in the far lane. A lot of work goes on between rounds on these race cars. Earlier, Steve had a chance to stop by the Martin pit area.
John Martin has a very talented young crew chief named Ron Swearingen. Now, for the past couple of years, Ron has been a roommate of John Force's crew chief, Austin Coyle. Now, Coyle, when he comes home from a hard day at the track or the shop, must talk in his sleep when he snoozes on the couch, because there's a lot of similarities between John Martin's car and the machine of John Force. I'm talking about the air brakes, the little dashboard with all the controls, and the computer timers. In fact, there's far too many similarities for it to be a total coincidence.
Well, Steve, as they say, all's fair in love, war, and drag racing. For John Martin, it's got to be a thrilling moment as he approaches the starting line for his first ever final round race. He's taking on John Force, who has got low elapsed time of eliminations set in the semifinals when he ran that brilliant 5:45. The two cars staging ever so carefully. And John Force with the advantage at the start. And John Martin loses a supercharger drive belt. John Force wins his 3rd national event title. His elapsed time, 5.50. His speed, 266 miles an hour. As we watch again, Force played the starting line lights to perfection. He had a big lead over John Martin, and then the mechanical problems set in for Martin. He lost the blower belt and the car slowed instantly. John Force pulled ahead and crossed the finish line the winner. Top Fuel Eliminator on the starting line finds Darrell Gwynn against Joe Amato. These are the top 2 cars in the points chase. Amato is in the #1 spot, while Gwynn has moved ahead as a result of this final round appearance over Eddie Hill to occupy #2. Let's go to the far end of the track and our Funny Car winner, who's with Steve.
John Force joins a very exclusive club of repeat winners this year. Only Kenny Bernstein and Don Perdome have done it. Congratulations, a great day of racing.
Well, we've come a long ways here, and me and old Coyle, as much as me and Gardella with Castro, we're always fighting together. Hi, buddy. But I got to tell you this, she ran consistent. The new things we were trying to do worked, and I'm really proud to be here with these guys. And I've been burning bridges all year, and I've been getting beat up, but it's starting to work, and I really do, sincerely. These guys don't get congratulated very much, but Coyle and this team, real good job, and I'm totally falling apart here. I want you to know this. They're going to have to carry me out.
Any worries at all that maybe that roommate situation might come back to haunt you, Ronnie Swearingen and Austin?
It's good. I went down to Swearingen, and I said, Swearingen, I'd come down. My guy went down to help him glass their bodies at Forrest out of the ropes. I went back to Coyle. I said, that's it. Don't ever talk to him again and raise his rent.
Okay, we're out of here.
John Forrest, never one to hide his emotions, bears it all for the world to see just by winning a simple drag race. Out in front of Joe Amato is his wife, Jerry. She performs two important roles, one backing Joe up after a burnout, the other Steve took a look at earlier.
Jerry Amato is preparing the final witch's brew of nitromethane and alcohol for her husband, Joe. And we have the hydrometer readings turned towards Jerry because crew chief Tim Richards is a little picky about the whole world knowing how much nitro they use. But really, Jerry, in most cases, it's just a splash of alcohol.
Right, a little bit, not much on this run anyway.
Now, there's more to this than just pouring fuel in the car. You use an air hose. Why do you do that? You put air into the tank?
No, just to mix the nitro and alcohol together.
Rather than stirring it around with a stick.
Right, like in the kitchen.
Now, how much fuel will you put in this car for the final?
About 8 to 10 gallons.
How much will be left when the run is over?
About 2 or 3.
Ooh, and at $30 a gallon, that gets pretty expensive.
Really?
Thanks. Good luck to you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Steve.
As in the case of so many other race teams, a matter of shared responsibility to get the race car ready for the run. For these 2 points leaders, this is a rematch of a race earlier this year, the Cajun Nationals, where Darrell Gwynn defeated Joe Amato. A tremendous start. Oh, what a close race. Joe Amato wins it by just inches. His elapsed time of 5:18, his speed 267 miles an hour. And for the third time this season, Joe Amato is a winner on the NHRA trail. As we look again, it was almost an identical start. The reaction time boiled down to just thousandths of a second. The advantage went to Amato. At the middle of the course, it was even. And that's the way it continued until the finish line, where Joe Amato, by a wheel length, pulled ahead. One of the closest Top Fuel races ever.
Well, Joe Amato, how close was it?
Too close. I didn't know who won for sure, Steve. I thought I won, but it was that much. I mean, I was ahead of him down the track, and I kept saying, come on, baby, hang on, you can do it. And I was hoping nothing dumb happened, and it didn't, thank God.
Indeed, and in the points, that keeps you ahead.
Yeah, the points where we still have the lead, you know, was good Eddie went out, but it's so tough, boy. You get to the final, and the guy who's number 2 is right there. You know, it's hard to make any ground up.
You ran a 17 to his 18, just a few thousandths really separating the two of you.
Wow, it's exciting to win a race like that because, you know, that's what racing is all about. You know, if the guy breaks or if you break, it's no fun for the winner or the loser. But my guys did an outstanding job. The car performed flawless this weekend. You know, Tim Richards, Jeff Rogers, Jim Walsh, all of them. They just did such a good job this weekend. And, you know, my wife mixed the nitro like a champ. And what more can I say? You know, it's exciting to win.
You use the word fun, and that's why you're here.
Oh, yeah, you know, who wants to be laying on the beach somewhere? I mean, how can you beat this? I mean, they're sitting in front of a television set. I mean, this is exciting. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this, that's for sure.
Okay, well, for all of you who are sitting in front of a television set, there is the winner of the Quaker State Northstar Nationals.
Joe Amato, the 1984 Winston champion, is currently leading the points chase. He's just got a few hundred-point lead over Darrell Gwynn. Eddie Hill is in third. Gene Snow in the number 4 spot. In funny car, it's even closer. Mark Oswald first, Kenny Bernstein second, John Force is third, and the hard-charging Don Prudhomme is in 4th. For Steve Evans, I'm Dave McClellan saying so long from Brainerd International Raceway. The 1988 NHRA Quaker State Northstar Nationals has been brought to you by Fram Bendix Autolite, which are all quality products of Allied Automotive, and by Goodyear Eagle Tires. Goodyear, because there really is a difference. And by Quaker State Motor Oil. New Quaker State with QSX keeps engines cleaner to last longer. The NHRA Northstar Nationals has been a presentation of Diamond P Sports.